Hey everybody, we just watched Castlevania, the new Netflix series,
Yes, we
and
did.
it was like first thing in the morning.
Yes, yeah, that's how we started our day with Castlevania.
Yeah, literally, like I woke up and just kind of rolled over and grabbed my phone and then turned on the Netflix app on my phone and started it just to see that it actually existed.
Yes, and it did.
Yes,
And
it was there and it played.
It was there.
And so far so good. I mean, I stopped it after like a minute, so we could like, okay, let's go watch it on the TV.
Yeah, so we decided to, wake up. We had some caffeine, and then we got it rolling. We just sat on the couch and we binged the whole thing, which really isn't saying much because there's only 4 episodes.
Yeah, only
in
4
the first
episodes
season.
each 20 minutes. So
yeah.
it's like a kind of a shorter movie.
Yes, exactly.
And it plays that way too.
Yeah, it wasn't an all-day binge. It felt more like kind of a prologue.
Yeah.
Really. So.
And before we get any further, I'm going to say spoilers. We're going to spoil the shit out of this. We're just going to talk about whatever.
Yeah, we're going to say whatever we want. There's
so
nothing you can do about it.
It's going to be spoiled like bad milk. But anyway, so we started it. Going into it, you don't have much experience with Castlevania.
No street credit from me. So, because the only Castlevania game I've actually played is Lords of Shadow, the most popular one. So, you, on the other hand, have extensive experience with the series. Mm-hmm. So, dating back to childhood.
We both together played through Lords of the Shadow. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, there were things that I didn't like about it. There were things I liked, too, but that's a whole other...
I like Robert Carlyle.
That's a whole other discussion. Yeah. Voice acting, it was awesome. But other than that, yeah, I had played them since like the first Nintendo release. Mm-hmm. I remember buying all of them on Funko Land's catalog. Yeah, going through and circling them all. Like, I want that one, I want this one, I want this one. And into Super Castlevania 4, and I didn't get much further than Symphony of the Night. But that's definitely going to come up in the show. I mean, the show in general, the aesthetic of it is it's anime looking.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of cues from the gothic anime look of kind of what the series has turned into.
Yeah, well, and I think in terms of animation style, that's I would say the preferable medium perhaps for Castlevania. So I would rather have it in the hands of anime artists as opposed to Disney or something like that. So.
But going into this, I was I was pretty skeptical and leaning on the negative, where I was like, I like Castlevania. I don't like everything that has the Castlevania label on it.
Right.
But just anytime anybody's like, we're gonna do a movie about this video game, or we're gonna do a TV show about this video game, it usually doesn't turn out very well.
No, it hasn't worked out so hot.
The bad usually outweighs the good.
Yeah,
in the multimedia department outside of video games.
Right. I was not nearly as skeptical as you are, but part of that is probably because I don't have the history with the game series that you do. So I was just like, yes, anime and vampires. Sure, that sounds like a great idea. But
I mean, all of the ingredients are there to make something fucking cool and interesting.
Well, and I think if, maybe, I'm sure there are people that were far more critical of it than you or I, but we've only watched it through once, perhaps after the second or third pass we might have some more complaints about it, but no, initially I was pretty excited, tried to be cautiously optimistic, but really I was just pretty excited about it, so, and I think, I was hoping that it would at least be good enough that even if it wasn't a good Castlevania anime, that it would have enough of, its own clout. It would be entertaining enough that perhaps if you took the Castlevania name off of it, then, fans like you or fans of the game would be able to enjoy it, if you just took the Castlevania part out of it. So, because I think that's one of the biggest problems in the translation of, video games or, comics or graphic novels into film, or animation, is that
video games even more so.
Very much more so. So is that they'll take the name Resident Evil and then they'll attach it to a bunch of things that have nothing to do with the game per se, other than zombies.
Yeah.
So and for that ruins it. So if the Resident Evil film had something else attached to it as opposed to this beloved video game series, it wouldn't perhaps be such an embarrassment to the gamers that have enjoyed it for so long. Perhaps.
Yeah, it's a mixed bag. I mean,
I mean, who
they
doesn't...
can try to force it, being like, oh,
Sure.
these are all the things that happen in the video game, but it doesn't really work.
Yeah.
Maybe
so,
as a
yeah.
movie or
And sometimes they try. Sometimes you can see that
as a linear narrative thing.
Yeah, and sometimes you can tell that there are people that worked on the project that, gave a shit about the source material, and that's not always the case. So with that translation, so in terms of source material, getting back to Castlevania, what we actually watched, how do you feel as a scholar? How do you, as a fan, boy, how do you feel like it translated into the anime? Did you feel like it was consistent with the world that has already been established?
Yeah, visually, and I mean, there's not a whole lot to draw from. I mean, the original Castlevania games were kind of just an excuse to put like awesome monsters into an action platformer. That's fine. And whip them to death, and get points, and fight cool bosses and stuff like that. So it was
awesome music.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't like a whole lot of initially. Anyway, there wasn't a whole lot of narrative structure or interesting characters.
There wasn't a whole lot
from.
of lore that you had to be like, no, and this said he has gray eyes.
Yeah, and even when they got a little more story heavy, like with Symphony of the Night, it wasn't. You had characters that had a handful of lines of dialogue, and that was pretty much it.
Right. What is a man?
I mean, visually, it was always a more interesting experience than a rock solid, satisfying narrative or anything like that.
Sure.
Which is fine, which is why I like those games, because they got right to the point.
Mm-hmm.
I want to whip, Medusa in the face.
Yeah,
with
exactly.
With a chain whip, or
I
throw
don't need a reason.
axes at fishmen.
Yeah, exactly. I don't need any motivation to do that.
Yeah,
That's
essentially, fine. Take on the entire roster of like Universal horror monsters. And attempt to be a badass while doing it, or fail miserably, which was often the case with me as a kid, trying to play my way through 1 and especially 3. 2 is a little easier, but more cryptic. But that's a discussion. But I think they nailed it, man. Like the even if it didn't have the Castlevania name attached to it.
Yeah.
It was just a freaking cool.
Yes.
Satisfying action horror adventure.
Yes, absolutely. With
story.
Plenty of blood, plenty of entrails, which made me very happy.
Yeah.
So,
and it didn't feel forced. I was worried about some of the press release stuff leading up to it. Like, I think it was either Warren Ellis or one of those guys.
Who wrote it,
the producer.
by the way.
Yeah, he wrote it, which is. I don't have a lot of experience with Warren Ellis material, but I like the webcomic Freak Angels a lot.
I like Transmit, and he wrote
and he's been kind of, I think, all over the place, writing bigger titles and bigger books.
Yeah, but I've enjoyed the things I've read of what he has written. Mm-hmm. So I was more optimistic seeing his name attached to it. Yeah. So because I thought he would bring something dark and interesting, and a little comedic to it. And that was another surprising thing.
This was funnier than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
It was funnier than it had any right to be, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Which was a nice surprise. But I was worried going into it with quotes like, it's going to be rated R as fuck, and stuff like that, where it's like, so they're going to try to make it like dark and edgy and, gory for gore's sake. But no, this felt fun. Like, it didn't feel forced. Yes. Except for one scene in the beginning where Lisa, the scientist.
Yes.
It opens with Lisa, the scientist, approaching
the doctor.
The doctor.
The future doctor.
Yeah, who loves science.
Who loves science and loves wanting to be a doctor.
And I guess she figures who better to learn more from than an immortal.
Yeah.
So she goes to Dracula's castle and she's like, hey, I want to learn stuff so I can help people and make the world a better and interesting place with science and science.
Yeah, exactly.
And medicine. And all that.
So, and she's this, beautiful lady.
Yeah,
so
and
he's all right.
Yeah, he's into her intelligence and her lack of fear.
Yes.
For him.
Yeah, that was very attractive because that's not something that Dracula is often met with.
Yeah, but right at the beginning, there's kind of a swarm of bats. The opening shot is like a swarm of bats, and then and some like heads on sticks, like skeletons and impaled skeletons.
Very Vlad Tepes-y.
Yes. And you see one of these bats just get totally like fucked by a knife or something.
Yeah, no, Lisa just
she stabs a bat, and I'm like, why did she do that? Like, what?
Fuck that bat.
Was there? Yeah. One out of the thousands.
So
it's kind of I felt like that was where the rated R as fuck kind of came from. It was like, we're showing you right now that it's going to be bloody.
We're gonna
and
get
serious
stabby.
and adult.
Yes, aye, Captain.
Yeah.
So.
But that was really it. I mean, there were other little weird technical things that I was kind of like, I don't. Anytime someone was walking, it looked kind of awkward and weird to me. I was like, that could have been animated better.
Yeah.
And that was initially where I was like, oh no, is this gonna be crap?
Yeah. Yeah. Second-rate anime.
Yeah. The initial stuff is like stab the weird random bat, which I mean, to be fair, it could have tried to swoop down and attack her or something. Like the one bat that maybe
you could infer things that would make that particular moment make sense.
Yeah, but it almost didn't feel necessary or like, oh, we're just gonna fucking totally eviscerate this one random bat at the very beginning.
Yeah.
And I think that was really the only forced like, oh, blood.
Yeah.
Blood and darkness.
Check it out.
Yeah.
See, we told you there would be blood.
R as fuck. But none of the other sequences or visuals felt that way. None of it felt forced. Most of it felt fun.
Yes.
Most of it felt fun and well choreographed and directed and everything.
Yeah. We were saying something about Lisa.
Yeah, we were.
Rambly as fuck.
Yeah. We're rated R for rambly as fuck.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
But yeah, she meets Dracula. She's branded as a witch because science.
Yeah, so the first like few little moments, so you're introduced to Lisa the doctor.
Again, spoilers.
Yeah.
Spoilers, yes.
But, yeah, exactly, and all over.
Rated S for spoilers. Spoilers.
No, so you meet her, and she goes to Dracula, and she's like, so teach me all the things, and he's like, okay. So, and he takes her into his castle, and you see all of this, amazing machinery and all of this, sciencey doctory things.
Yes, something right out of the Muppets.
Yeah.
Beaker
and then pretty much the next scene, so she's tied to a stake and they're burning her, so that she's been, discovered to be a witch. So been branded so by a bishop and basically the clergy that run the town that she's been living in.
Yeah.
So and
in a very kind of religious-looking foyer or whatever.
Yes.
Courtyard.
Yeah, exactly. So it's looks very what you would think of would be kind of a Spanish Inquisition type thing, or just like
Yes, a standard evil Catholic setting.
Yes, exactly. Oh, you Catholics.
Yes.
So. But I mean, that's not actually knocking Catholics. A lot of people were burning a lot of people once upon a time. But and one moment that I really liked is that as they're burning her alive, so she's calling out to the sky, like, don't condemn them for this. They don't know what they're doing. Yeah. Which was really cool because I do recall
very Christ-like.
Exactly. So, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So, and they think she's talking to the devil, but she's talking to Dracula. And then, a few scenes later, we find out
she doesn't want Dracula's wrath to come down on these people.
Right, exactly. So, because, she was encouraging him to live, more like a human. So, he taught her the ways of immortality.
Take him the sights.
Yeah,
Go traveling like a normal human.
Yeah,
like a normal
walk in places.
Bipedal creature.
Because if you can fly places or magically transport yourself, walking feels
awesome. Yeah.
But then you find out that she is actually now Lisa Tepesh. So he is married Dr. Lisa Dracula. So you can imagine how happy he is, after, walking home like a man.
Yeah, being convinced after all this time, like, humans ain't so bad.
I guess
Dracula,
they're all right.
Mr. Tepesh.
Yeah.
Humans ain't so bad. In fact, let's get married.
Yeah.
And then
it'll be great. You'll love being a mortalish man.
Yeah.
So no, because then he gets home and his house is burned down, and he finds out that his wife has been tied to the stake and they're burning her alive because they think she's a witch. And wouldn't that just put a bad taste in your mouth about the whole men are fine thing? Changed his mind a little bit. But
right?
Even then, when he shows up after they've burned his wife and he's like, you fucked up. Even then, kind of, ascribing to his, like...
He still gives them a chance. He gives them an out.
a chance. He shows them mercy.
In an awesome sequence. And this is where the animation gets real good.
Ooh.
For me, anyway. I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it didn't look bad leading up to it. It was just some of the walking stuff was kind of like, they could have done better. But his face appears out of the
flames,
the remains of
the
his
pyre.
wife. Yeah. The pyre turns into like a big skull, flaming skull face, and starts talking to everybody.
Yeah, like
And
Wizard of Oz, only scary.
And the head honcho.
This wicked bishop.
Yeah, who gave the order to burn her. Who's essentially running the town like a mob boss.
Yeah. No, he's a gangster.
He's like, oh, it's the devil.
Yeah, he's a gangster.
Yeah, it's not real. It's illusion. It's devil magic.
Yeah, exactly. It's black magic. It's the devil.
Yeah, Dracula's face appears, and he's like, you guys have 1 year to get the hell out of here.
Which is very generous. It's not like he gave him like 24 hours. It's not like...
It's not giving a 30-day notice.
Right.
To vacate.
That's a whole year. That's a whole year to like, pack up your shit and, get the hell out of Dodge. So, but of course, most of the people in this town have been under the influence of this, mob rules.
Yeah, he's calling the shots.
So, and they're...
Convinces everybody it's just devil lies, satanic lies.
Right.
But they've been warned.
Yeah, exactly. So
Lo and behold, they stick around still.
Of course. So, and it was interesting that they set it up in such a way that, they killed his wife. And under false pretenses, so that, like calling her a witch. And it was right then I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to feel bad for any of the victims. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have, even for the innocents that weren't necessarily, complicit in her death.
Yeah.
So
I was worried I was worried they were doing the bad guy's actually a good guy, just a misunderstood,
Yeah.
And I was gonna be like, I was worried that they were going to set up Belmont to be kind of a bully or something. Like, oh, I'm not going to like that Dracula's getting harassed by the guy with the vampire killer.
Yeah, no, so, but he's still, I don't know, for me he was kind of obviously a sympathetic character, which is what they wanted him to be. He was still
traditionally he was in the original, Bram Stoker.
Yes, yeah, no, like, absolutely. He was a sympathetic character.
He got his wife taken from him there, and...
I mean, that would piss somebody off.
Yeah.
If you like your wife.
Yeah, which was, I mean, it was a dramatic, fantastical retelling anyway of Vlad, who was kind of demonized by the church because he wasn't playing by their rules, and he was actually anyway. That's a whole other interesting historical.
R for Rambly.
Yeah.
But no, I like the fact that initially I was like, oh, I mean, who doesn't love a good revenge fantasy?
Yeah, all of a sudden it was I was like, oh, I kind of like Dracula now.
Yeah. Well, again, it made him somebody that's like you can kind of root for, but at the same time you do want to see his ass get kicked.
Because he's still a monster and he's still running around, sending his hordes of horrible beasts
to
eviscerate...
kill and eviscerate babbies.
Yeah, simple townsfolk. Yeah.
Yeah, who, I mean, like... Lisa said, like she, told him, it's just like, it's not their fault. So now, of course, there are people to blame, such as, like the bishop and, the rest of the clergy that have been, running that town like a bunch of gangsters, go after the truly guilty. So, but if you kill the innocent people in the path, then it's like, that's not revenge, that's not even necessarily vengeance. It's like, now you're doing the same thing that was done to your wife. You're killing somebody for something that they didn't do.
Yeah.
So
and
that's
now you're just being a monster again.
Yeah, exactly. So now you're being the very thing that your wifey poo didn't want you to be.
Yeah.
Dang
it. Yeah. But then we get to meet
Trevor
Belmont.
Trevor Belmont, voiced by Richard Armitage.
Yes.
Nothing wrong.
Who you're a huge fan of.
I mean, what red-blooded female wouldn't be?
Right.
Or red-blooded male.
Isn't there a name for the kind of elite sect of Armitage fangirls?
The Armitage Army.
Is that what it is? Okay. That's like Benedict Cumberbatch has.
Cumberbitches.
Yes. Armitage has his own faction.
Yeah, I'm the treasurer.
Oh, didn't realize. But we meet him.
But we do in a tavern in a
Mr.
very
Belmont.
funny way.
Yeah, and this is where the more clever, funny kind of
the
Warren
humor
Ellis
kind
writing
of
starts to make
its head.
itself evident.
Yeah, as soon as somebody talks about fucking sheep, it's like, oh, Warren Ellis had in this.
Yeah, somebody fucked a guy's goat. He was mad and he hit him in the face with a shovel. And there's this whole conversation happening.
Hit him
but
with
I was surprised by Belmont's character. I liked him a lot. More than I thought it. I liked the whole thing more than I thought it would. But Belmont comes off as a very kind of roguish Han Solo type. Like devil may care.
Kind of, anti-hero.
Drifting from place to place and kind of seeking out opportunities to get money so he can get drunk and just kind of hang out. And not starve to death.
Yeah, that would bum you out. That wouldn't work out so hot. But I like the fact that even though it's not an uncommon trope at this point to have the hero be, kind of disenfranchised and disillusioned and kind of in the I don't care, so, just people can just fuck the hell off. But it didn't, to me anyway, it didn't feel like it was boring. So it didn't feel like and
not forced either.
No, it felt pretty sincere. So, and his bitterness and his apathy really didn't seem disingenuous to me. So he was still a believable character, despite the fact that he kind of fell into this role that we've seen frequently. I enjoyed
probably
that.
Too smart and too clever for anyone else around him.
I know the feeling.
And has a legacy that he's kind of ignoring.
Yeah,
absolutely. The vampire hunting Belmont clan.
It's a lot of pressure.
Who have been excommunicated from the church.
Which, given the
social
church,
outcasts.
That's not necessarily a horrible thing.
Right.
But that's still, that might hurt your feelings.
Yeah, given the more political side of it.
Yes, the political church.
They were using means to combat the supernatural, like using magic and other mysticism.
Yeah.
Which the church didn't like.
No, you gotta play by their rules. You gotta do shit their way.
Yeah. To fight and kill monsters and vampires.
Which of course
Creature
makes
from the
them
Black Lagoons
monsters.
and Frankensteins and
Wolfmans.
Yeah, the mummies and such.
Chupacabra.
But excuse me.
Beer.
Yeah.
Beer.
Nice cold. It's fucking hot, by the way. Which is why I keep coughing, like my throat's very dry. I need some medicine.
Yeah, we're drinking beer in honor of Trevor Belmont, who is a functional alcoholic.
Yeah.
So.
An ass-kicking alcoholic, I guess.
Yeah.
Smiting evil and deep in his cups.
Yeah.
But
how you do?
So we're in full scale Dracula's Wrath mode now. It's been a year. It's raining hellfire down.
And raining blood from a lacerated sky.
Yes. The hordes of darkness are wreaking havoc on this little town nightly.
Yeah.
The clergy has everybody in kind of wrapped around their little finger.
Yeah.
They got thugs kind of living in the town that are thieves, but they're dressed in kind of frocks and priest garb and all that stuff. But they're actually like vagabonds and vagrants.
Ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah.
Cads.
Hooligans. So he kind of it almost feels kind of westerny in that sense. You got the
it does. No, it's kind of
the tired old ass kicker.
Yeah.
Comes into town, rolls into town, and sees like stuff.
He's Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, seeing people being wronged.
Yeah,
and he can't help himself but involve himself and.
Yeah, exactly.
So he gets tangled up into the whole business, and people know the name of Belmont. He's the last son of.
He's not very popular.
The line of Belmont.
He's not very popular.
Yeah, socially and religiously and politically.
A
name that shall not be mentioned.
Yeah, exactly. He who shall not be named.
Yeah, but he's the one guy that knows how to kick monsters' asses.
Yeah, how to get shit done. So, but even so, he is reviled, and he ends up falling in with the Speakers, who is another group that the church is not
Wandering
so fond
mystics.
of. Yes, so.
And it's also where we meet another character from Castlevania 3 by the name of Sypha.
Yep.
And she's a wizard.
Yes.
She's a wizard.
She's a wizard, Harry.
And which is funny because in the English release, North American release anyway, of Castlevania 3, Sypha was a man.
Huh.
I think. I want to say I remember reading the instruction booklet and it coming off like she was a male character, like a male wizard character. And I forget the character's name in the instruction manual. But I always, even as a kid, I was always kind of like, it looks like kind of like a lady, like robes.
Yeah, yeah.
But I just assumed it was a guy.
Yeah.
Until later, when it was like, no, that was...
I mean, it doesn't make a difference either way for the character, at least the way... she was portrayed in...
No, I just thought that was kind of a funny... I was like, oh, maybe little boys might not like the... Or was a translation error or something? Or they just didn't care or they didn't know?
Yeah, could be.
The localization team was just like, oh, it's just a wizard. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Or a mage or whatever they called it.
Yeah, easy thing.
Yeah.
Easy.
But we meet her, and this is where we finally get to see our Belmont take out his first monster.
Yeah.
Like a badass.
Yeah, because up until, like, what, episode 3 or 4, so he was really just been fighting, like, evil clergymen.
It felt like a slow burn.
Yeah, which I didn't mind. I kind of liked the slow build-up, so...
Yeah. No, it left a lot of room to explore the characters and have some interesting dialogue and have some funny moments.
Yeah, no, we got a decent amount of character development within these 4 episodes, which, made it easy to care. I mean, even with Lisa, even with Dr. Lisa Tepish, we see her in one scene where she's interacting with Dracula. And
we hang out with her for all of like 30 seconds.
Yeah, in the very next scene, she's being burned at the stake, and you're actually kind of
like,
upset
that
about
sucks.
it. Yeah.
I thought she was going to be around longer.
So, which, I mean, there are some shows where it's, they go on for seasons and seasons, and they're trying to make you, empathize and care about a character, and it doesn't work at all. So, and then Lisa, you hang out with her for 30 seconds, and when she's getting burned at the stake, you're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, bummer.
And then when you find out that, not only, was she, apprenticing herself to Dracula, but she married the dude, it's like, oh.
Yeah.
Then, then it's...
Dracula gonna be pissed.
Yeah, well, and your heart kind of sinks, because it's just... You could tell that he had been making an effort, and that, he was evolving in a way, and like they were, saving each other.
He liked her a lot.
Yeah. I mean, he married her, so one would hope. But, yeah, it does make it more personal, and it becomes a more interesting story when, obviously when you give a shit about the characters. So it was interesting that...
The character development is awesome in this.
Yes.
Surprisingly so.
Yeah.
For a thing that's based on,
Video game?
Yeah, whip Fishman in the face.
Yeah.
To get 100 points.
Wall chicken.
Yeah, but he's sent down into the subterranean area to go fetch her because the speakers are missing her.
Trevor Belmont is sent down into these catacombs.
There's
to
this
go
prophecy
fetch
or old wives' tale or something, folk legend, that there's the sleeping soldier, I think they keep calling it, or something like that.
Yes, that lives beneath the
that will deliver
sea.
them from the hordes of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And earlier we meet Alucard.
Arthur Rambling,
yeah. Earlier, when Dracula decides to be a bastard again, to be Dracula again.
Yeah, essentially.
You see this character with, long, kind of white or fair blonde. Yes.
This is my low-key Alucard cosplay.
Yeah, your cosplay is spot on.
Yeah, that's low-key. It's ratchet. Accidental cosplay.
Yeah. He tries to dissuade his father from destroying humanity.
Because it's what his mom would have wanted. He was like, Mom wouldn't want you to do this.
Yeah, he's like, go kill the guy that killed your wife.
Yeah.
But don't destroy
take it out
the earth.
Of everybody.
Yeah.
So, and
so they get into it, and you see a brief scuffle.
Yeah.
And then you don't know what happens after that.
Right.
And then later on, they talk about this.
A sleeping warrior.
Yeah.
Beneath the city that's supposed to be like.
To be reawakened.
Yes.
And the first thing I thought of was Alucard, but I'm like, no, wait a minute, because a year prior to the current events, was like he was like up and wandering around. So they talk about this long dormant sleeping soldier. So it's kind of like that can't be Alucard then. But you called it. You were like, that's Alucard.
I win.
Yes. You get all the points.
Wall chicken.
So yeah, Trevor goes down to fetch Sypha, and he fights a Cyclops down there.
Yeah.
It was kind of a bummer to me because you see these other figures down there that have been petrified by stone or into stone. So I was like, oh, we're gonna get Medusa. We're gonna get a Medusa fight because she was one of the bosses in the games. But it's still a cool, like, big giant Cyclops monster that shoots an eye laser that turns you to stone.
Yeah, no, it's a nice little, like, you want to see him fight a monster, like, here you go. So it's a nice little, kind of appetizer
and he does,
for what's to come.
Yeah, he does, and he kills it, and he wakes up Sypha.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I like all of his little action sequences, by the way.
Yeah, they're well choreographed.
Him, yes.
Better than a lot of live action stuff where you can't tell what the fuck is going on because the camera's so damn close and it's shaking around.
I'm talking to you, Chris Nolan.
Yeah.
You know what you did.
Yeah, but this was surprisingly easy to follow.
Yes.
The action sequences.
Yeah, exactly. So
and complicated.
Satisfyingly
complicated.
Yes.
Doing neat, logical, interesting things.
Yes. Yeah.
And it with usually a satisfying outcome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, you.
Not too over the top. Not too.
Nope.
Yeah,
nope. It was
Goldilocks of fight scenes. they were just right.
Just right.
Yeah. But he brings her back to the surface, and he's like, yeah.
Trevor brings
Belmont
Sypha.
brings Sypha back to the surface, and he's like, the Belmonts also talk about stuff, and.
Just so you know, speakers, we also speak.
Yeah, keep an oratory sort of history.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe written in books. And he's like, and what my predecessors described, what we saw down there, is the inside of Dracula's castle.
Yeah, dummies.
Yeah, and it's established early on that Dracula's castle is kind of like a living fortress. Like, it moves around, and or at least through, like, machinery.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, it's kind of like Castle Figaro from Final Fantasy VI, I guess. But anyway, he brings her back. What the hell happens next?
So he brings her back, and the speakers. The deal that R for rambling. So the deal that Trevor made with the speakers was, all right, I'll go rescue your missing speaker.
Yeah.
So, and then you guys are going to get the hell out of Dodge because,
the church hates them and has turned the townsfolk against them. Like,
right,
it's their fault that the monsters are here.
Yeah, so, it's like the church and the town is against them. So, and of course, Dracula's about to, rain down fire and monsters upon this town as soon as sun goes down. So the deal Trevor had made with them before he rescued Sypha from the Cyclops is, all right, I'll go help you. I'll go get your girlfriend, and then you guys you're gonna leave. So,
because I don't want you to get killed by a mob.
Right. So he didn't want to see bad things come to these people that we're trying to do nice things.
Yeah.
So, but
they're trying to teach the townspeople how to fight monsters. I guess is what they're trying to do.
In trying to teach them, that fear shouldn't be the thing that rules them.
Yeah. And so also to go wake up Alucard.
Mm-hmm. So, yes, who they didn't know was Alucard.
Right.
So, but they start to renege on their deal. So, so then Trevor Belmont's just like, well, fine.
I'll put you somewhere else in the town where you're safe.
Yeah, exactly.
And I will confront the mob.
Yeah.
The mob.
So, and he does.
Yeah, so he gradually starts to care, just like Han Solo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no,
he gets involved, and he's like, you know what? Yeah, my bloodline is important. The stuff they did was important.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn back into badass monster hunter.
Yeah,
do what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, no, he was kind of inspired by the speaker's, idea that, it's like, even if we die, we'd rather die doing the right thing and, showing people that there's, there's hope and that, you can't live your life in fear. So, and,
to run away and be defeated.
Yeah, exactly. So, and of course that spoke very personally to Trevor, because those are exactly the things that he's been avoiding the responsibility, avoiding, what it meant to be a Belmont. So.
But he wasn't frustrating before this either.
No.
He's still a neat character.
Yeah.
Which is what I don't like about the whole, like, the typical, like, hero running away from the responsibility kind of thing, or the washed up hero.
Yeah.
Like, he was still, like, fun to hang out with.
Yeah, he was.
to watch.
So, yeah, he wasn't. And
he was still a badass, and he was, still had some cool action sequences. And...
Yeah, exactly. He was still somebody that you could root for and somebody to get behind instead of just being like, you idiot. What?
Yeah, it wasn't obnoxious, or it didn't come off as obnoxious to me.
I agree.
Yeah.
So
he eventually turns the tide, and he's like, convinces the town people that, like, no, actually these weird priests running around with like clubs and swords and daggers, and they're the guys that are kind of being the jerks.
Yeah, these rakes dressed in priest robes are the ones that have been forcing you to live in fear and in terror, so that have been like serving you up on a platter basically to Dracula's minions.
And their leader is the one that killed Dracula's wife.
So that's why you're all in trouble.
And you all were there and you remember. So be pissed, and then the mob essentially turns on one of the leader cronies.
Yeah, the head instigator basically. So
they pull Brutus on him.
Yeah.
And stab him a bunch of times.
Absolutely. So it was worthwhile.
Yeah, but then after that, he sort of rallies the townsfolk, and he's like, if there's actual and ordained priests in here, go get some water.
Go make me some holy
water. Get some water. I want the pike guys. I want the guys with spears up front here, front and center. I want,
first line of defense.
Yeah, the guys with swords back here. Round up a bunch of salt and put the salt on the swords.
Yeah, and then you see Sypha come in, and she's doing all of her witchcraft and magic and stuff like that.
Yeah, all her wizardry.
Wizardry, not witchcraft. So everything's kind of coming together. So Belmont's
shooting
rallying
fireballs
everybody.
and shooting ice.
Yes, exactly. So and they the townspeople actually start making a difference. They start kind of putting a dent in.
It's like, wait a minute, we can do this. Yeah.
Yeah. So demons coming, and then people stab, blood, and ice, fire, and vampire killer.
Yeah. So it's like, obviously this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly. So they kind of start to believe, and they kind of start to take their home back. So
the townspeople win their first battle against darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Or any battle that they've mustered.
Well, I mean,
it's
their first time actually putting up a fight, instead of just kind of living under the yoke of the church, telling them like, this is happening because you people are sinful, or this is happening because the speakers are here, this is happening because you didn't have enough faith. Yeah. So laying the guilt on everybody else's shoulders, except for like the person that was the one that condemned Lisa to death in the first place. So be careful.
And he gets ripped to shreds by monsters.
Yeah, that was satisfying.
What was he, a bishop?
I think he was a bishop. Okay. Yeah, he was setting himself up to be,
he's the one. Yeah, he's the one who's like, all the other towns are getting demolished by Dracula, and this is the one where like I am, and we've got, I've got my priest mafia.
Yeah.
Here. Yep. And we're gonna do well, and we're going to be the church.
Yeah, exactly.
After this.
Yeah, no, he was setting himself up.
He gets killed by monsters, which is super satisfying.
That was really satisfying.
I thought that Belmont would take him out, but it was like, no, it's actually better that he got.
It's more fitting that So, and that was a really cool scene. So, because the bishops in the church being all evil and holy. Yeah. So, and the monsters break in,
ruminating on his machinations.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, you can't be in here. This is a house of God. So. And
we're here.
Yeah, exactly. So one of the demons is like,
God's not here.
He's not here at all.
Yeah.
So, and the bishop starts trying to.
He doesn't like us very much, but he doesn't like you very much.
Yeah. He likes you even less.
Yeah.
So, and I think like right before he dies, the bishop is kind of confronted with the fact that even though he wanted to believe that he was doing God's work, he was just kind of following his own lust for power. He was doing his work. He wasn't concerned with what God's what God's ordained, or what God willed for his people. So that was a cool moment. So when evil takes out evil, so and
that was appropriate.
You don't feel bad at all for the bishop. So
it's like Dracula essentially got his revenge on that guy.
Yeah, exactly. So
finally.
That was.
But now it's like, after this, now everything that happens is on Dracula for being a monster.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's like you got your revenge. The guy that killed your wifey is done for. So, but of course Dracula shows no restraint.
Yeah, and there's some brutal sequences in there too. You see monsters like running around with like babies in their mouths and stuff.
Yeah.
And then cut to like a bloody crib.
Baby's good eating.
And like people crying, and it's like, Jesus Christ.
Entrails everywhere. People getting decapitated. They're getting like ripped in twain.
R as fuck.
Yeah, R as fuck. R as Rambo.
But it was appropriate, it's like watching a Hexen.
Yeah,
like the old turn of the century witch movie where they're like holding babies and like cutting them and stuff. Okay,
nice and
this is gonna go in the Halloween season staple watch list.
Yeah. This is a great Halloween movie. Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of Halloween and more vampires, we go and we wake up Alucard finally.
Yes.
Sypha and Trevor go back down into the depths after razzling monsters in the town above. The floor kind of caves in. And they're like, wait, we're way deeper than...
They fall a lot.
They do fall a lot in this fucking show.
Yeah, Trevor and Sypha end up, like falling 4 floors down all the way, which I kind of didn't mind. Because, I mean,
it's
they have
platforming.
Yeah,
it's an action platformer.
So, there were some funny moments, but yeah, they fall floor.
Which they do. They do work in, traps and stuff. And, some parts in it look kind of like the clock tower sequence in Castlevania 1 and 3. Which I was kind of like, oh, that's nostalgic and cool.
It's a nice little, hat tip.
Yeah, but they finally find Alucard's resting place. And they wake him up. And Belmont gets all sorts of bothered. Because he's like, you're a fucking vampire. Yeah. I know what you are.
And Sypha's like, no, he's the sleeping hero that's going to right all the wrongs and balance the scales.
And he's like, no, I think I should kill you.
Yeah.
Because nobody knows what Dracula looks like.
Right.
Is what he brings. He's like, this is a vampire. He's obviously a powerful vampire.
Yeah.
Because he's guarded by all these crazy traps and some sort of weird steam-powered coffin.
Yes. Yeah.
A lot of it's neat. It's like the vampires don't really rely too much on magic or mysticism.
Yeah.
In the mundane stuff, I guess. There's a lot of interesting science and
and technology.
Steam-powered magic or steam-powered mechanic stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. No real world defense.
Yeah, it's like stuff that it seems like
way ahead of
people that have been alive for 500 years would have developed.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. No,
he's got electricity. He's got working lights and
they'd
stuff.
They'd be ahead of the curve on all of those things if you're immortal and you have time to think about stuff. So, they awaken Alucard, and Sypha's like, oh, it's the Messiah. So, and Belmont's like,
no, that's
I think
Dracula,
I should probably stab it. So
if it's not Dracula, it's still a vampire. I'm going to kill him.
Yeah, so then there's the face-off between Alucard and Trevor.
And it's awesome.
It's awesome.
It is so good.
It's so good.
If for nothing else, leading up to this part, it was, even if the show was kind of mediocre or crap, this would have made up for it.
Yeah.
And this is where the direction and the blocking and the choreography, what we were talking about before, it really shines.
Yes.
You'd see everything that they're doing. The whip is used in an interesting way, and they eventually get down to swords and blades, and that's where Alucard has the edge on him. But they eventually come to a standoff where it's like, I can kill you, you can kill me.
Yeah.
And Alucard backs away, and you see his wounds heal, and he's like, you probably could have done that the whole time.
Of course.
And he's like, yeah, I think you guys have a shot at taking out Dracula, because I want to kill my dad too.
Yeah. So and then it's kind of revealed, Alucard, was testing Trevor to see, does this guy actually have what it takes to take on my pops, my dad?
Yes.
So.
And it's revealed that the sleeping soldier.
The prophecy,
is a future prophecy.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Like, all right, I guess.
Yeah. So, and the prophecy did say that, it would be a hunter and a scholar.
A hunter and a scholar that meet the son of Dracula. Yeah. And he looks just like his sort of contemporary design.
Yes.
From Symphony of the Night and onward.
Yeah, no, you said, when he puts on his...
Oh my god, yeah, when he puts on his jacket.
His black coat.
Yeah, it's like... I got choked up. I was like, it's Alucard.
It's actually how it is in the thing.
Yeah. Look at him.
He's wearing a coat.
It's exactly like the video game. It's like the video game. So it's a really good marriage of the video game stuff. And it does an interesting thing where it's like, this actually reinforces the early games for me. It's like, I kind of want to go back and just play them now.
Yeah.
Because it'd be front loaded with all this new information and all of this character development. And it would fit the the two don't contradict each other. It's like,
right. Yeah, no, it doesn't take away, and the things that it adds, would only enhance your enjoyment of it. If you enjoyed the piece, if you enjoyed the anime,
it's a good enhancement.
Yeah, exactly.
So the three of them meet, and the three walk out together.
Yeah.
Ready to go kick some Victorian ass.
Yeah, some vampire ass. And then it ends. And that's the end of episode 4, which are they've only released 4.
Yep,
so
and that's it. That's all we get.
Yeah, so you're all primed and ready, and now you gotta wait. That's
yeah. And I was worried about
balls.
the 4 episode thing, where I was like,
I knew it wasn't going to be enough, but again, I was more optimistic.
But it felt like a film.
It.
Like it felt like all the episodes kind of flow into each other.
Yeah.
And they don't feel like self-contained stories.
No.
It doesn't feel episodic. It feels like a movie that's broken up into 4 parts.
No, it feels like a really well-executed kind of prologue. So they set you up. You're familiar with the characters. They kind of establish, who they are and what they're doing in the world.
Yeah.
So and the foundation of the events that are going to lead us into the next season, the next group of episodes. So that's the only thing that I'm disappointed about, is that I have to wait.
But we are getting more. So. It's been confirmed that there are going to be 8 episodes and a season 2.
Awesome.
So I'm all about it, man. This was good. This was really good. The only thing is we didn't get to see Grant, the thief character from Castlevania 3. If this is a Castlevania 3, storyline, I guess. The only element that's missing is Grant, the thief character from Castlevania.
Which we might get introduced.
Which was my favorite character to play as because he was so agile. Belmont had such an exact jumping arc and stuff, and Grant you could control him in midair and stuff, and he could climb walls and cliffs. Anyway. R for rambling.
Yeah. Well, and there's still time for them.
Season 2. Maybe we'll get Grant in season 2.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Is that it's set up a lot of awesome things, and if they keep going down the track that they have started, I think it might do well. So I mean, you're not disappointed, and you're a big fan of the series. So and I have. Very little connection to it, and I enjoyed it. So, for people that are fans of the games, and for somebody that doesn't really know much, I mean, I've watched you play them. I've played them by proxy.
Yeah, you watched me play Symphony of the Night, and
So
some
we
of the old
through
NES games,
Lords of Shadow together.
Yeah, we played through Lords of Shadow.
Yeah. So there's nothing for me to not like about the series. Just there. From those experiences.
You like it as a standalone work.
Yeah, but as a standalone work, with or without the Castlevania name attached to it, it was still an enjoyable anime. I enjoyed the characters, I enjoyed the story and the plot, and 10 out of 10 would watch again. So and this
we will.
We will. So and
I'm excited to watch it again. I was corrected.
Yeah.
I thought it would be trash, garbage.
Which, I mean, for fans, it's probably not the worst jumping point, to go into it with. So, because of course there are probably going to be people that are far more critical, people that don't enjoy it the way we have. So, and like with anything, it's better to go in with, cautious optimism or perhaps a little pessimism. So, because anything that exceeds your very low expectations is going to increase the enjoyment.
I was anticipating it. But I wasn't really excited about it.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
What are we going to get? But what we got was real good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was good. I'm excited.
Great action, great storytelling, great character development.
Yeah. Very,
great animation.
Great animation, really good voice acting.
Yeah, the voice acting was really good.
The voice acting was awesome. So, and I'm not just saying that because I am the treasurer of the Armitage Army. It was very enjoyable and
collecting those dues.
But I'm excited for season 2.
Yeah.
I'm excited to watch it again. So, and again, who knows, after multiple viewings, some of our opinions or some of our criticisms might alter a little bit. So, but again, from a non-Castlevania game player and from somebody that again has been familiar with these works for a long time, dating back to childhood, we both gave it a thumbs up. So, and
it was good.
It was
excited for season 2.
It's fun. Yeah.
Now we got something extra to watch on Halloween.
Yes, we do.
All right.
Very, very awesome.
Thanks everybody for watching. See you next time. Whenever we do another one of these again.